All right, here we are on the set of Escape Pod to play a one-page RPG set in the Escape Pod world called Escape to Escape. We're here with some of the cast and crew of the show who are going to be our players for today. I'm Will, I play Al, and I wrote this silly little one-page RPG. But let's go ahead and get some introductions for our cast and crew and who you're playing today on the show.
Hi, I'm Sam Hausman. I direct and showrun Escape Pod. And today I'll be playing Shrimpy Snacks, the shrimper, the full-time shrimper on the Stardream 3.
Hi, I'm Tanner Ortiz Ingold, and I play Jack on Escape Pod. And today I'm going to be playing an alternate universe version of Jack and see how he would deal with this conundrum without Rose.
Hello, I play Hannah, and my name is Hannah. It's a little thing that I'm doing. Very meta. I'm playing a librarian on the Stardream 3 who's just happy to be here.
What's your role on Escape Pod?
Oh yeah, I'm set PA. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Naomi Javer, and I was one of the writers on Season 2 of Escape Pod. I'm playing, her name's Calliope Blackwell, and she is one of the lead engineers on the Stardream 3. Yes, always wanted to go to space.
All right, great. So we're going to go ahead and go through just a little introduction, and then we'll do the mechanical part of building your characters. And in this game, you roll randomly to see what the problem that you need to repair is, and randomly for what the problem is on the actual Stardream 3. So it's going to all be improvised from that point forward, other than a little introduction I've got there. But here, I'll go ahead and read the start of the game and then tell you how to build your characters, all right?
Sounds good.
So, remember the space cruise ship you were on and how it was pressurized? Well, good news and bad news. The ship is still there. Well, most of it's still there. Some of it's still there. But the whole pressurized thing is pretty iffy now. A klaxon started sounding a little while ago, and that was the first hint. Then it was the people screaming, and eventually somehow you guys figured out something wasn't quite right. Of course, by that point, most of the escape pods were gone, but there's good news. There's one left. It was the one that was in for repairs on the far side of the ship, and it can only fit 2 of you. This game is best played with 4 or more players, and good luck. All right, so the way this game works is you have 4 stats. You have acuity, chassis, presence, and violence. You're going to roll 4 dice, and you're going to apply those to your stats for this game. The higher the roll, the better your stat, because you're going to be trying to roll under that number as we go. So you're going to take 2d4 and 2d8, or you're going to roll, 1d4 and 1d8 twice, and just write your numbers down, and then you will choose to apply them to the different stats. So acuity is a stat if you want to use your wits, knowledge, perception, or mental fortitude. Chassis is about your body, so it's about testing your brain, grace, endurance, or speed. Your brawn, grace, endurance, or speed. Presence is the stat for winning over other characters or robots or anything like that. So it's kind of how charismatic your character is. And violence is about defending yourself or testing your battle reflexes or making an attack. And it is also the stat used if you decide to get into a scrap with one of the other players. This is a cooperative game until it isn't, right? So you guys are going to attempt to try and repair your escape pod and get off of it before the ship is completely destroyed or taken over, or whatever it is that is happening to the ship based on the random rolls we have here in a little bit. When it's time to play, you'll just tell me what you want your character to do, and I'll tell you which stat you're going to invoke, and then you get to choose which die you want to roll. The lower the die, the better your chance of success for that roll, but once you use that die, it's out of your pool, and you can't use it again. When you completely run out of dice, you get them all back, and you restart your pool, and that actually levels you up. You'll have one of your stats go up by a point when that happens. The bad news is, if you have a really high stat, there is a mechanic in the game. If you roll a die that's lower, say you're rolling a d8 and your stat, or you're rolling a d6 and your stat is an 8, there's no chance of you failing, right? But if you roll the max number on that die, there's a mechanic in here called do or die. It means if you roll that max number, you immediately and spectacularly die. So the better you are at stuff, the more chance you have of just some meteor coming through the side of the ship and taking you out, or whatever. So be cautious about rolling those low die under your high stat numbers. You have a good chance of success, but also a chance of dying. All right. So does anybody have any questions before we get into what the problem's going to be on the ship?
We had 1 to what we rolled, right?
Yeah, you add 1 to every one of the die rolls.
Got it.
Yep. So your minimum score could be a 2.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. We're going to first roll to see what the escape pod needs to be fixed. So Naomi, will you roll a d6 for me to figure that out?
Ooh, that's a 1.
A 1. So that's the easiest repair for the ship. All you need is 1 MacGuffin. So just 1 part is missing from the escape pod. You said you were the, what did you say, chief engineer on the ship?
Yeah.
So I'll let you pick what is that part that an escape pod would need that it might be missing or
I'm
broken.
thinking about this. I think it's the florb capacitor.
The florp.
Still has the same vibe, but I can't remember what we were talking about.
Okay.
So that feels more.
Florb or florp?
Florb with a B, yeah.
Oh no, I wrote florp. I need a new sheet. Can you print me a new sheet? I
Yeah,
wrote florp.
let's stop everything.
Pause.
I had already
If
planned.
it was florp, then it would have been.
I had already planned
That's
for a
a very
florp
different thing.
capacitor. Okay, we also need to figure out what. So that's what's wrong with the escape pod. But there's also obviously something wrong with the Star Dream 3, which is the cruise ship that the characters from Escape Pod, had to escape from. So we have to figure out what broke the spaceship, and since Tanner is the one who broke our spaceship in Season 1 by jumping a little too hard on a stool, and by the way, a really good take.
Which we're gonna play right now.
Yeah. Remember that. Oh, yeah. I forgot how funny you look. Okay,
My butt still hurts.
so Tanner, roll a d6 for me to figure out what broke the spaceship in this particular session.
2.
A 2.
Space pirates with
Yes!
space sabers, space flintlocks, and tricorn astronaut helmets.
All right,
Saw the
so
florb capacitor.
those blasted pirates, they definitely took your flip capacitor. Well, I mean, that's what's wrong with the escape pod. They definitely did some other stuff. As chief engineer, you might know what those things are, to the spaceship.
Fight some space pirates.
So we don't have to roll on the alien table. We didn't get aliens in as part of it. So that's all we really need to know to get started for playing.
Can we roll on it anyway?
Just to
and then
see?
Just to see if there is like a single alien space pirate?
Sure.
Awesome.
Sam, roll on the alien table. A
Yeah,
d6.
A D6?
Uh-huh.
4.
4, they look like gray alien TV chefs cooking bugs, which is a joke that's funnier if you read the first 3, which I won't do. All right. All right. So, like I said, you can't really prepare for this because you're rolling randomly to see what the problem is, but I do just have a little introduction from before the pirates attacked the ship. So, let's go ahead and get started with that. Hello, Star Dream 3 Voyagers! It's me, Maxim, Million Core Algorithmic Expressive Intelligence Matrix. It's another beautiful day in space where our temperature is still negative 455 degrees Fahrenheit. So if you plan on stepping outside today, make sure to bring one of future Navy's new performance fleeces. They'll keep you absolutely toasty, even in absolute zero, or half your money back. But seriously, don't step outside, because you have everything you could ever want right here on the Star Dream 3. The best food from Ricky Joe's. The best in AI entertainment, with movies tailored directly to your algorithmic preferences. Stunning porthole views in every bathroom, and most importantly, intergalactic special brand of hospitality. So purchase those add-ons to your cruise today. Today's special add-on deal is... Hold on one second. Second. We must be passing near some cosmic interference. We will be back after these technical difficulties are resolved. And then it cuts in for a little bit of hold music of the hotel Andromeda. As you hear that playing, I want to just get a little bit of an idea of what your characters are doing on a day-to-day. So you've already introduced yourselves and your characters, but we're going to introduce your characters into the world now. So I'm going to team you guys up to see where you are at this particular time. What was your name, Sam?
Shrimpy Snacks.
I don't know why I didn't remember. Shrimpy Snacks. Okay. So let's say Shrimpy Snacks and Hannah are hanging out today on the Star Dream 3. What were you two doing before the klaxon started sounding that maybe you were so engrossed in that you were one of the last ones to notice you should be running for an escape pod?
We were playing a really serious game of Spaceball. You know, Spaceball.
Singular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I know Spaceball.
Oh, yeah.
It's really intense.
It's super intense.
There's a big ball in the center of the room,
Yeah.
and you actually have to stand on it
Yeah.
for the longest amount of time.
Mhm.
But we're both standing, like it's a big ball. We're both standing on it, and it's kind of like you have to like push one person
Yeah.
off or roll around the room. Like it's very it's like cooperative, but also there's an element that you have to like be antagonistic.
Can you tell me
Yeah.
what's cooperative about it?
You also
Getting
have
onto
to
the
roll
ball.
it into a net. Like you're getting
Okay.
points.
Sure.
Yeah.
But you
Okay.
want to be the last one on it when it gets in the net,
Mhm.
so
Yeah.
then it flips and you got to try and shake.
Are there other people on other space balls that you're trying to get more points than by rolling it into more nets?
Yeah, let's just have 6 teams playing soccer. No, of course not.
Okay, then what are the
Silly.
points that you get in the net?
I think we should move on.
Okay, so
Makes sense.
You don't get it, that's
you're,
fine.
You're in the space ball room,
Yeah.
and the two of you.
It's more of an arena.
Was there a crowd before the alarm started sounding?
No.
Not for us.
No one watches this.
Yeah,
It's just for us.
Not really
Yeah,
fun. to
It's a
watch.
recreational
More of a-
arena.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna
It's
say there's a
essentially a tennis court.
Okay,
like-
so there's a projection of a crowd cheering for the two of you on the
Just to
space
make
ball.
you feel better.
Mhm.
I love that.
Okay.
So that you can really. Okay, so they don't seem to mind whatever's going on outside the room. To them, they're just entirely focused on the spectacle of the two of you navigating that space ball.
It makes sense why you wouldn't notice them because it's a very intense game.
It is. We're
extremely
both
And the
locked
crowd
in.
doesn't
Oh,
seem
yeah.
bothered, so like, why would you think anything's wrong?
Exactly.
There's just sweat pouring off of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shrimpy snacks.
Shrimpy snacks, salty sweat.
What does
Shrimpy
Shrimpy-
snacks, salty sweat.
What does Shrimpy Snacks look like? Exactly what you'd expect.
You know.
You know.
No, he's 6'8". He's 400 pounds, pure muscle.
Uh-huh.
Is he single?
He's single.
Terrifying. Pro athlete,
On
Shrimpy
the,
Snacks.
yeah, he's single. He's single.
Alright.
But he's not really looking for a relationship
Oh.
right now.
He
Yeah.
looks
So
good,
you're
but the
serious about
smell
baseball?
isn't
but the
great.
smell is really what turns everyone off the
Yeah.
shrimpy
That
snacks.
makes sense.
What's
That
your
makes sense.
just curious? What's your present score?
8.
Oh well, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Curious
Pretty
detail
good.
coming from my own life, Calliope is very allergic to shrimp.
Okay.
So if it's a shrimp-ish odor, it will be a problem if we both
Oh,
make it
it's
in the escape
certainly. It is actually. He consumes so much shrimp to get so
pod.
swole.
He sweats shrimp smell.
He's like sweating.
He actually
Oh.
didn't used to look like a shrimp, but now
Yeah.
he kind
The
of
most,
does.
like,
Yeah.
Just because of all the
forbidden
shrimp.
love.
he eats.
His skin is a little red, like a little pink,
Oh.
like a flamingo.
All right,
So
so
Hannah looks like.
what does Hannah look like?
Hannah is 5'2", about 195 pounds. Very cute, very cute. Short dark hair, glasses. You know, wears a lot of black.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. All right, so that's what you two are doing at that time. We'll get back to you in a minute when you finally notice the klaxon. But what about Calliope and Jack? Where are you all on the ship, and what are the two of you doing?
What's Jack up to?
Okay, I was thinking, considering the entertainment that is offered on board, maybe we're in like a 5DX movie kind of thing
Yes.
that's like really immersive
Yes.
and like so that way anything that's like rocking the ship,
We just
like we just think it's part of the movie.
Yeah.
And like all the loud sounds, like we think it's part of what's going on.
Yeah.
And we're like, we're getting wind blown at us
Yes,
and water
the chair's
spray.
like shaking.
Yeah, yeah.
There's like an alarm, but it's like part of the movie, right?
Yeah,
Like, it's-
exactly. We just kind of figured it was a part of the experience. So.
Okay.
Yes, I do think Calliope's coworkers forced her to take today off
Mhm.
because she's been like working on the ship, making sure everything goes completely according to plan. And she's been like, no, I don't need a day off. I like to make sure everything's running smooth. And they're like, boss, we got it. Like, just go take your day off. Nothing's gonna happen. And she's like, okay, I guess I'll go see a movie. But like, call me if you think it's weird, like call me, I can help. And they're like, we got it. Don't even worry about it.
They did
Yep.
not, in fact,
So
got
they
it.
did not got it. But
So you've been out of the
This
office.
is what happens when you take a day off.
You've been out of the
Everything
office
goes
for 43
down the
minutes,
Yeah.
and you're in the movie. So the movies on here would be based on like your preferences because of the algorithm here, but it's apparently a film that's only really based on the two of yours algorithms
Yeah,
crossing over
is
at
there
some
anyone
point
else
because
There's
no
like-
one else is in
There's
here.
some
No.
individual theaters, and then there's some that are like group hang theaters,
Yeah.
kind of like an
Yeah.
amalgamation.
I
Well,
love-
this theater's supposed to seat 200 people, but it's just the two of you.
This
So
movie is called Space Chef, and it's like because she's like all about space travel.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he's just like want to watch Chopped or something, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like Chopped in space, but they're like on a Like
Yeah,
that's totally the movie's vibe,
So
I would
it's-
say.
with
it's
some action.
but it's a
elements.
very
Yes,
immersive.
100%. We both want action movie.
Yeah,
Like, yours is like with like a
I want
Ratatouille
the chef to
twist.
be the hero,
Yeah.
because I'm the heroic chef.
Exactly. He is. He is.
We're gonna see if that actually happens today.
All right, chef. So that's what I was gonna ask was like, what movie would be tailored to the two of you? Now I just want to know how close in the 200-person theater.
Oh, opposite
Let's
sides.
say you were sitting first and Jack came in. Where
Oh,
would
it'd be
Jack
so
sit?
funny if we sat right next to each
Yeah, we're
Like,
just
it's a completely-
directly next to each other in the middle of the
other.
theater,
Just like, okay.
and very close to the screen.
But
Yeah,
you-
we're both like
First row.
really close. We like to be immersed.
and you didn't
being
know
in
each other
space.
before this.
Yeah, no, being on a real ship in space isn't enough. I need to be 5
No,
feet
she's
from-
always in the
from the-
engineering
from
bay.
the IMAX
Mhm.
screen. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you came in first, and I sat down next to you. I'm like, make a friend.
Yes.
I said, hey, and you're like,
Hi. Yeah. She's like, hello.
what do you do on this ship? You look like you have a uniform on.
She's for sure.
'Cause I'm guessing Calliope probably didn't like pack any clothes that are not.
No,
for, like-
she's for sure in
Yeah.
her like regalia. You know, like she has like a badge or something.
As you say that, we see it says Chief Engineer in big letters.
Yeah. She's like,
I'm
oh.
a chef, not a
She goes,
professional reader.
nothing important.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Yeah. Come
Is
here
the seat
often?
taken?
Obviously not. Please
it's just-
sit, I guess.
He sits down very enthusiastically.
Love it.
Breaks the seat.
Moves to the other side. Sits down a bit more gently.
Who engineered these things?
Day off is going really well.
Okay, so that's what's happening. When we're gonna flash back over to Shrimpy Snacks and Hannah on the ball. So we're gonna go ahead and see how the Spaceball game goes.
Awesome.
So I'm gonna need each of you to invoke your chassis stat, and you can choose to roll whatever die you like,
It's
keeping
actually
in
more
mind.
violent if you think about it.
Sam just wants to roll
It's
his
a
violent
violent
stat.
game.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually
Roll
violence.
your chassis for me.
Yeah, sure.
This ball has gotten very slippery from all of the sweat.
Oh, that was
Sam
so
uses
funny
his
if you
best
died.
die.
My best die to win
For this.
I
You
rolled
die
a 2.
immediately.
She also rolled her best die.
Oh, she died.
I died immediately.
Wait,
No
could
way!
you wait? Could you
Wait,
fail?
no. For chassis?
Yeah,
No, it meets the 4. So
It meets
they
the
have,
4.
they have
Right, but it's the
4.
max number on the dice.
Yeah, but unless she couldn't fail the roll,
So it would need
a tie is a failure.
Uh,
So if she had a
Don't
5 in
die.
chassis, she would have died immediately.
Wait, did you add 1 to all your stats?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so she's still alive.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
barely alive though.
That
It's
would have
going,
been.
it's
that would've
going
been-
poorly.
Going
But,
poorly.
So you guys are on top of the Spaceball, and as everybody knows, in Spaceball, there's a there's a special move
Yeah.
that you could do called, what's it called again? The one that the crowd really likes.
The Space Jam.
This. Well, I give
Come
the,
on and slam.
I give the shrimpy smack roll. It's my custom move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where, yeah.
Everybody has a custom move
Yeah.
in Spaceball. It's kind of
Sorry,
like
again,
the
one more time.
WWF.
Was it Snackle? Is that what
Smack roll?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the shrimpy smack roll just comes across Hannah, and you're unable to resist it. You slip on some of Shrimpy's sweat and just bounce off of the Spaceball onto the ground, and you hear the whole crowd, just
Oh.
projections, just ooh, and cover their faces up, and then they start clapping and chanting Shrimpy, Shrimpy,
I unzip
Shrimpy.
my fanny pack
Uh-huh.
and pull out shrimp cocktail and start like throwing.
It
some
hits the screen and slides down. Just again and again.
Always has
Sliding
shrimp
down
on
the
him,
screen.
like,
Yeah.
in his pockets.
I mean, I got it in case a loyal customer needs a shrimp.
So as it hits the screen, it kind of just glitches out a little bit, and you see now the whole room just flashing
Ooh.
red and a
You broke
siren blaring.
Ooh, I get out of there.
Okay, so you
Okay.
just pass Hannah, who's laying on the ground, so she's going to be a step behind.
Good game.
Who won?
Thank you.
It just goes.
It was me. I rolled better,
Okay.
right? I won.
Yeah, you won. You had
Baseball.
the 2 versus the 4 there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you had a success and she did not. That's really the...
Yeah.
I see.
So, as you get outside, you see a completely empty hallway and a bunch of, like, escape pod bays, because they line, like,
Yeah.
both sides of the ship, the port and the starboard, of course,
Yeah.
of the Star Dream, and you see a bunch of empty terminals, and then
Oh.
Hannah gets out behind you a second later.
That's bad.
Weren't there spaceships there?
Yeah, I thought so. There used to be.
Is there like a computer around or like a?
Yeah, you guys would have personal computers that are in the ship that you use to buy, like, your upgrades and, microtransactions on this cruise.
It's run by EA.
Yeah, basically.
I go ahead and pull out my personal device.
Mm-hmm. It says, it's just flashing, like, basically similar to a tornado warning, like,
Warning.
It is-
Ship unstable.
yeah, invasion, get to nearest escape pod immediately, and it's showing you a map of escape pods, and it's just a bunch of X's on every escape pod in the bays.
I'm looking over your shoulder.
Oh.
Or I'm looking under your shoulder.
Yeah.
If you're 6'8".
It doesn't smell good down there.
No.
Oh,
Well, you should
Especially
be used
after
to it
that.
at this. You should be nose blind to
Yeah,
it because you're
yeah.
completely covered in shrimp.
I am
too.
currently
Salty
covered in
shrimp.
shrimp.
Horrible.
horrid.
Is there like a green dot or anything that is like an escape pod that is left?
Go ahead and use your invoke your acuity for me.
All right. No.
It looks like just a bunch of red X's on the screen, and it's maybe worse than that, like it's not letting you make any purchases right now.
No! My credits.
My purchases!
What do we do?
Good question. Do I know that there is like a repair bay for the escape pods?
You could roll, that would still be an acuity check,
Okay.
because that would be about knowledge.
Okay. I'm going to roll for that. I roll a 5, which is a tie.
Okay, so that's going to be a fail.
Dang.
So you don't know of anything currently in for repair or anything like that at this time.
Let's go see if we can find one.
Let's see if we can find
We
somebody.
just take off in a direction.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
just pick a random direction and start running.
Left.
Okay,
Correct.
let me check my notes if
Yeah,
left or
yeah.
right.
It
Let's
says
go
right
back to Jack and Calliope for a little bit here.
We're still just watching the movie.
Yeah, so, who's the star of this movie? Like the
Leonardo
character.
DiCaprio.
Oh, I was gonna say
The character
it's
Leonardo
Jeff
DiCaprio.
Goldblum DiCaprio.
Their son.
Their
Their
son.
their love child.
It's AI made, so it
Yeah.
could be
yeah.
it could
Yeah.
be whatever you want.
It's
Leo-
for sure like a AI baby of like it's like the two of them morphed
Yeah,
with AI.
yeah.
Okay, so he's at this point. He's just, in fact, Shrimpy's has a cameo in this AI,
No
at least an
way.
approximation of
Oh, heck
Shrimpy,
yeah.
because you've seen him on the ship before, and like,
Oh.
oh, I remember that guy.
Oh, I see.
So-
It takes into account that
hmm
thing. Okay.
Your experiences. So
Uh-huh.
it's like intergalactic. What's the full name of the company? Intergalactic.
Imperial Intergalactic.
Imperial Intergalactic Shrimpy Snacks Spaceball Champion comes in and brings in a load of shrimp to Leonardo Goldblum, and he's just flipping them around like hibachi chef style. And because this is 5D, like there's one coming in each of your direction you're supposed to try and
I'm
catch.
super
Oh,
allergic.
yes.
Super allergic. Dude. Can't do that.
The algorithm has made a grave mistake.
No.
I would like
Yeah, I want to still roll. If she
I would
catches
like
it,
you,
if
so
she's a-
violence is about defending yourself, Calliope. I'd like you to invoke your violence stat for me, please.
So I want to roll under that, right? Or else.
Yes. And you can pick whatever die you'd like, but once you roll it, you can't roll that one
This
again.
would be really funny if she died.
Yep.
This would be like, oh, okay. 4 under 5. Yay.
Okay, so
So she catches it or dodges it.
yeah,
I
you
guess.
can describe however you avoid the
Yeah,
shrimp.
she
It's up to you.
realizes what's about to happen
Mhm.
and she just like hits the deck. She's
Okay.
like, no.
Can I
No
try to
shrimp
catch
for me.
both?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I am sitting
You
next to her.
absolutely should.
That would be chassis. Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, that would definitely be chassis.
Ooh.
That's about your grace.
Let's give it a shot.
Glad we're all
This is
using
where I-
our best.
Now I'm scared to look.
Where'd it go? It's under
Oh,
you.
no.
Okay, should I re-roll?
Yeah.
Yeah, roll on the table. On the table
On the
counts.
table is probably a good idea. 3.
It's that.
And my chassis is a 3.
All right. We'll say you catch the first one. You're not able to catch the second
Okay.
one.
Mine goes to
It would not have. It would
Okay.
not have harmed, probably, even though it is 5D. It's not a real shrimp. It's still virtual.
Oh, okay.
But you get the
She's-
whole flavor
No, it just
profile
smells
of
too
the
like
shrimp.
shrimp.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel
But
like,
it's not very filling.
I feel like Calliope would notice first what's like that something's actually wrong
Okay.
because like even if we're like immersed in this movie, she knows what the
You know
what
the
sounds
shit.
are real.
Yeah.
I think, and so if there's like an actual alarm happening,
Yeah.
maybe when she's like hits the ground, she's able to be like, "That's not the movie."
Yeah. I think like when your ear's close to the ground, it's
Yeah.
almost like hearing a train coming. Like you feel a vibration in the ship
She's,
that
like,
isn't right, and hear the
really
alarm
connected
from the
to
other
ship,
room.
You know?
Mhm.
Really
She's like
plugged
a
in.
druid. But yeah, so she's like, something's not right.
Yeah. So you know.
Yeah, I really wanted those shrimp to have a better flavor profile.
Oh, you buffoon! I mean, with the ship, and she just starts like heading towards.
But you
the-
hear Leonardo Goldblum say like, "Hey man, I seasoned them just perfect."
He's talking, the TV's talking to you. Oh
And I kind of argue a little bit back and forth with him for a second. Then I realize, oh wait,
Yeah,
hold on. what did
Calliope's
you say?
ahead of you, out of the door.
Yeah. So I'm like, we'll pick this up later, and I follow her out.
Okay. As you guys get outside of the room, you actually see one of the space pirates. So,
no! Scary.
he's just come around the corner. He's got like a titanium peg leg on one side and like a little robot parrot on the top of his shoulder. And he glances, or his head kind of snaps over in your direction, and he goes, "Where be Shrimpy Snacks?"
He's in
It's on
there.
the TV. Yeah, we for sure.
We just point him to the theater.
Okay. So yeah, so there's a pirate here threatening you. I don't know which one of you said first, like he's in there. So I'm gonna let. All
Jack
right,
did for sure.
Jack. I'm gonna let you invoke your presence to try and convince the space pirate to head into the room.
Okie doke. Let's.
And if you're rolling a die where, well, you don't always know if death is possible because you're a little confused on the mechanic. Just go ahead and
What?
roll and tell me what
Well,
happened.
it's a D6,
Okay.
and my presence is 5.
You're good.
Okay. So you can't die on this roll.
And and I matched it out of 5.
But you did not succeed.
Womp,
He goes,
womp.
if he be in there, I could smell him.
I mean, I could smell him pretty well a couple minutes ago.
He says, well, you'll have to do for now. And
Me? What do I have to do?
he says, sick him. And the parrot leaps off of his shoulder and starts careening toward Jack. So I need Jack to invoke his violence to try and dodge the space parrot here.
Okay. That is an 8. My violence is a 6.
Okay.
And this is a D10. So it's not my max number. I don't die, right?
No.
Yeah,
No.
okay. So I just get smacked by the parrot, huh?
Mm-hmm. So the parrot's gonna come across and it is going for Jack's jugular with like a really hydraulic beak. Like this is a serious parrot. So Calliope, you have a decision to make. You can help Jack, or you can leave him for dead.
I'm like on the ground, like holding this thing off a little bit,
Oh
but
man, yeah, I'll help.
Okay.
I was gonna try
Kick it.
and get a weapon, but yeah, I think I'll just try and like punch the bird. I think she'll just try and like fully just swing on it.
Okay. Well,
Violence.
that's definitely violence if you're trying to punch a space parrot.
1, 2.
Okay, that's a
Yes,
success.
5.
So you're able to knock the parrot off of Jack. It sort of flutters into the 5D room, and the algorithm picks up just like beautiful fruits on the screen, and the parrot is transfixed by all of the wonderful
That's
treats
perfect,
that it
yes.
could be eating. But you still have a pirate between you and the only exit to this hallway. So what are the two of you planning on doing now?
I would like to, you know how like I've never been on a cruise ship, but I have to assume that in some rooms or on halls or maybe even into the cinema, there's like those metal support bars on the wall, and she would like to rip it off the wall and wield it as a weapon.
are there any like fire extinguishers or
Good
something in the?
Well, we'll see based on a roll. So you're trying to rip something off of the wall. We're going to
Yes.
go with chassis
Chassis,
since
yes.
you're invoking your brawn.
Come on, the numbers. 3 needs it. Ah!
Okay.
She can't quite get it off.
Pulling. I mean,
It's just-
you
on.
you installed this,
Put my foot up on the wall.
and it's got
Why am I so
Big-
good at my job?
yeah, it's got real big bolts in it. It doesn't even shimmy a little when you try to get it off. It's really stuck on there. You're looking for something like a fire extinguisher, right?
Yeah, something that's like already something that I can't pick up and hit.
Sure.
With.
So that would be acuity since you're
Okay.
utilizing your knowledge or your awareness.
Right. Fingers crossed. That didn't quite land on anything.
It's kind of cocked. Yeah, that dice tray's
Yeah,
not
let's
very
just roll
good.
it. Yeah.
Got a little warped.
1!
1! Yay!
All right, so that's always a success. So I'll let you describe with a 1 what the item is that you find.
Alright, I'm still on the ground from the parrot attack, and I look over to the other wall from where, like, she's pulling on one wall, and look over to the other one, and I see, like, a little metal door.
In case of...
Yeah,
fire,
break in case of
glass.
emergency or something, and so
It
it's
says
kinda
break in case of pirates.
Yeah.
It sure does.
It's a flintlock.
Gotta fight fire with fire, pirates with pirate stuff.
Yeah.
I like roll over and reach up, open up the door, and
That's what's in there.
yeah, flintlock is really in the heck yes. So I like pull it out, and I'm like, whoa.
Oh,
And I turn around, look at the pirate, and I'm like, get out of here, man, or I will pull this trigger.
1 second, matey. We don't need to resort to violence.
And you're the,
Peaceful fire.
aren't you the one that just sicked your stupid little parrot on my throat?
No, that's his name. I be trying to just give him a little cracker. I said, hey, sick, eat a cracker, boy.
I don't think that's the truth.
It's not, okay? And he's gonna try and reach for a flintlock, but you've
Alright,
got
go,
I
go,
already
go.
got him at
Yeah.
gunpoint, so I'm gonna try and just shoot his arm because Jack doesn't want to kill him.
Sure.
Like that's a little too far for Jack.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna aim for whatever arm he's reaching with.
That'll be your violence roll.
Violence roll. All right.
You're almost leveled up from this encounter here.
Yeah. No kidding. All right. That's another one.
All right.
Yeah. Let's
So
go.
you pull the flintlock back and fire, and instead of like a big explosion out of the end of the gun, it's like a stun that comes out of it,
Okay.
and it kind of just tasers the pirate, and he collapses down onto the ground.
Oh, that's really gonna suck with his metal leg on him.
Oh yeah, it just
Yeah.
grounded right into the ground. Just
He's
leaves
like
him black
stuck there
and
for a while.
He's actually very dead right now. Jack killed him, and Jack has to deal with that now.
Calliope would like to take his gun. The pirate's
sure,
gun.
the pirate's gun.
She's gonna like scoop it off and be like, "Nice work. Now follow me. We have to get to the engineering bay."
And Jack's just like looking at this smoldering body of this dude as he's like
Get a move on, kid.
a little scared, and then goes, oh,
She's already, like,
okay.
running,
And,
yeah.
Okay, you guys go running out of that room, and because you guys went left, otherwise you never would have met
Oh
each
my
other.
God.
Because you guys went
Look at
left,
it.
Yes.
you guys just
Snapping
start
at each
about to run into each other as you come around the corner comically. But because of the smell of shrimp, you had a little bit of warning. So it's not too
Bad
violent.
time for Calliope.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, you just meet.
Oh.
Hi, everyone. We're bad things are happening. Follow me if you want to live, I guess.
Jack-
Alright?
She's holding a... They both look like they're holding pirate guns, though, when you
We
look
do
at
both have like
That
boxes.
is true.
My hands go up in the air.
No,
Yeah,
but
Jack
the,
just
the
looks-
smell. It's kind of an attack.
yeah, for sure.
Whoa.
Are you
like acid
trying to be
damage.
violent with this?
It's a defense mechanism.
Is there a defense? Can I do it like just in case? Because I don't know them.
But you don't want this to automatically be an attack. You're not trying to be aggressive.
are-
I'm not
But
trying
I
to be
do.
aggressive,
We're like-
Jack
like
does
I did-
have a jumpsuit on that says Star Dream 3, and she
I'm dressed like
has
the
Yeah.
engineer.
an engineering
That's
outfit.
true.
So
All
I
right,
feel
no,
like
no,
it's
no.
pretty obvious that
And
was.
it's
Yeah.
funny.
This
Those
is why
like
we have
fog
pistols.
cloud coming off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like
Okay.
I think she says, "No, you buffoon. There's pirates. Follow me."
This is. I found this in a case that says break in case of pirates.
We just
and
got
I-
in a scrape, and we're trying to get to the engineering bay so we can get out of here.
Jack just has like a 1,000-yard stare right now.
Jack is
just
like-
kind of fry a dude.
Yeah.
Kind of like a spaceball match I had one time.
You lot can dilly-dally if you want. And she just like starts back down the hallway. She's on a
I'm
mission.
gonna stick with her. She seems like she knows what she's doing, and I just kind of keep in
Oh,
step with her.
and I'll follow.
Sure.
I'll
Okay.
follow too.
Oh, I don't see anybody else around here. You guys might as well come with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. As you sprint toward the engineering bay, there's actually like one of the pieces of the side of the ship, like not out to space, but like into a panel where there is wiring and like steam pipes and things like you have here in your basement, has just been torn off, and you see coming across the hall leading to the engineering bay, like a hot spray of steam is blocking all of your way.
Can I? Would it be acuity to try and investigate that and see if I know how to fix it?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
Yep.
okay. Let's see. I want to get lower then. Right.
Yep.
5. Mine's at 8.
Okay. So you see, it looks like there may have been a scrap here in this room, and it was like shot by one of the pirates. Have actual space flintlocks.
Not just taser.
They
flintlocks.
actually shoot like a pirate flintlock, but they shoot out something called space musket balls instead,
Space
Yeah.
basketballs.
which is a different game than
Yep.
Spaceball,
Yeah.
but it's similar. It's one you could play on a table. It's the board game version.
It's like a.
This is like if we called everything on Earth like a Earth bullet.
Actually,
Yeah.
that is canonical. On Earth, everything is called. Like I'll have an Earth cheeseburger.
Yeah, now.
Yeah.
Now that
It's
people
different
have
than a
gone to
space
other places.
cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Gotta
Um,
differentiate.
But you can see that there's one that was lodged into that pipe, and it's just a small gap, and you think you could patch it temporarily.
Well, she always has like a wrench and
Sure.
stuff on her belt. Like it is her day off, but like that's just like
Sure.
wearing, jewelry for her.
It's her
So she-
everyday carry.
Yeah. She has her tool belt no matter what.
You've got a casual spot welder.
This is my day off wrench, you
Mhm.
know?
While
Okay.
she,
A welder, yeah,
She
exactly.
reaches for her wrench.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to like try and flick a shrimp into the hole.
Sure.
Okay.
One of
Yeah.
the many
So
shrimps
the
that
thing you
carry.
learn is you could turn off one valve that's sending steam to that particular pipe. But while you're going to do that, I'll say if you want to be quicker than her, first you're going to have to use reflexes, which is under violence.
It doesn't. I don't need to be quicker than
Okay,
her.
well, throw a shrimp then. That's a chassis check, because that's your grace.
Yeah. Nope.
It goes through the steam, and it's nicely cooked.
Cool. Yeah,
As
that's
it-
kind of what I
But
was
it's on the
hoping.
other side.
On the other side of the
so-
steam and on the floor. And you actually see like a little mouse droid come out and just like eat it.
It does just look like a mouse, though.
Yeah, and it takes it back into a little hole in the side of the ship there.
It was perfect.
But you crank the pipe, you know, the little fitting on the pipe, and the steam slowly starts to dissipate in the hallway where you are as it stops coming out of the pipe. So you think you can get it across?
Everyone.
Yes, well done. Now go on. Everybody through.
Sure.
Alright, yeah, we go through.
Okay. You make it to the engineering bay. It seems like there's a airlock door. It's closed. There's a little panel on the side of the door, and you need some authorization to be able to go inside.
Do I have that?
Generally, you're allowed in the engineering bay, yeah, but you
Yeah.
would have to put your little computer scanner
Okay.
onto
I
it.
do that.
Okay. Yeah, you do, but the door doesn't open, and it says, access to administrative part of the ships has been closed. If you haven't noticed, we've got pirates. Are you a pirate?
No.
Prove it.
Great point. I mean, I have my identification,
Maybe a pirate took it off you.
but it looked okay. Use the face scan. Use biometrics.
Face scanners and biometrics have been damaged.
Oh,
By
does anyone
pirates.
see a crowbar?
I want to kick down the door.
Yes,
I was gonna say,
thank you,
I look
Shrimpy.
over at Shrimpy, and I was gonna say, like,
Shrimpy,
you're a
take care
big
of
dude,
it.
can you just open it?
Get us in there.
I'm kicking down the door.
Okay. I don't think you can kick open the door, so I don't think I can give you
Yes,
a roll
he
for
can.
that.
I'll put my
It's
shoulder into
shrimpy.
it. How about that?
Hello.
I'm gonna let you roll if
Spaceball
you roll a
champion.
1. It just can't be an average success, because this door is meant to keep out, you know,
Pirates.
A violence score?
yeah, violence. But it doesn't matter, you have to roll a 1.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a 4.
Okay.
He tries.
You smash into the door, but it seems like this is supposed to, like, be able to stop meteors and all kinds of things.
Can
Like,
I
this is
try-
a blast door.
Can I try and convince this robot, like, that I have, like, the most clearance to go through with a presence roll?
Yeah,
with
what do
a
you
presence?
say to the robot or do to try and...
I am the
Please.
chief engineer of this vessel, and if we're going to save any more lives, you have to let me in.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for presence.
No, it's a 7.
Okay.
Can I roll for presents?
It asks, hold on one sec. It asks you a question about like the construction of the ship, and for some reason it's just not coming to mind like
She's
exactly.
just too frazzled and, like, it's
Mhm.
not coming out right. And
Yeah.
she's just like, we don't have time for this.
Okay. So Hannah the librarian, how will you convince the
She's actually
computer here at the engineering bay?
Do I look like a pirate?
No, and the door opens. And inside the engineering bay, there's actually an escape pod that is damaged, that had been brought in for some repairs. And as the chief engineer, you know that there was someone on your team working on this because the florp capacitor had been damaged in a routine test of the escape pod, which was not really a routine test. It was just one of the people on your team showboating in the escape pod. But
And he crashed it.
the good news is that means you still have an escape pod on the ship. It is not currently functioning though.
Okay.
Where would we find... Wait, we all know that there's...
She knows.
I
You
explained
know,
this.
okay.
I'll, you know.
No,
Yeah.
no, no.
I tell them.
Well, where can we find, like, a replacement piece for that? Like, we need to clearly get out of here.
Oh, can I roll acuity to see, or is it like I know the pirates took? Would I know that yet?
You can roll acuity to see if there is
If I
a floor.
figured
And I
out-
said florp. I mean florb.
Yeah, get
Yeah.
it right.
Capacitor.
This is serious. Oh, I rolled a 10. now.
Okay. Okay. So you know that there is a drawer in the workbench here labeled floor capacitors. You go and open the drawer, and there are like 12 slots for floor capacitors, but not a single one inside the drawers.
Well,
It must have been the pirates.
they raided this ship for the floor capacitors?
Well, then the AI closed the doors way too late. They must have
Bad
taken
AI.
all the... Yes, bad. Terrible. They must have taken all the floor capacitors.
Well, is there like, I mean, I'm sure we could like pull one out of something else. You know, like when your TV remote runs out of battery and you need to like go take the battery out of something in the kitchen. Like, let's do that with a
But
floor
they've
capacitor.
taken all the escape pods already. This is the last
Yeah,
one.
but like, I mean, is there anything else that uses a floor capacitor?
Just the ship?
Besides Just the ship? Well, the ship's kind of screwed, so maybe we just take one from the ship.
We're in the engine room, I assume.
You're in the engine room, but you would know a floor capacitor, since part of the rules here is that part is on the other side of the ship. The floor capacitor
It's
is on the
outside,
bridge
yeah. Oh.
of the ship, because the floor capacitor is all about, navigation.
The way I see it, we have two options. We either get to the other side of the ship and see if there's a floor capacitor left, or we confront the pirates and get one from them. Either way, this ship's going down if we can't do that.
I don't want to fight a pirate.
You're so big, though.
Pirates scare me.
But big.
Scary.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, somebody should probably stay here anyways to kind of like guard the escape pod, make sure. Wait, hold on. How many people fit in this escape pod? Actually, don't answer that.
I know the answer, but I think she just sort of goes, "That's a problem for later. Let's get it working first."
How many people fit on the escape pod?
On we go!
She leaves.
Yeah. She's like, okay, so actually question. If we get, where did you say the other side is?
It's on the
The
bridge.
bridge.
Mhm.
Do I think it's possible? Naomi knows this is not, but would Calliope think, let me just fix the ship itself and then we don't need the escape pod?
You could try and diagnose what's
Okay, but I'd have to get to the bridge to do
wrong
that
with
anyway.
the ship. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I think that's what we're doing, and if we run into the pirates along the way,
I'll say this, you would have some kind of computer in the engineering bay that you could probably access to try and figure out exactly what's wrong with the ship.
sure. Oh, all of my dice have been used.
Okay, so you level up. That means you get to increase one of your stats by 1,
Ooh.
which potentially could make things a little more deadly, but also make you a little better at something.
Nice. Okay. That's fun. Okay, I do that. I
So
wanna,
this will
would that
be acuity, yeah.
Okay. Try and see what I can diagnose of
Mhm.
the actual star dream.
Yeah.
1!
Okay, so that's going to be a success. So you get into the computer, and Maxim is actually accessible, the AI system for the Star Dream 3, and he goes, Engineer Calliope, how can I help you today?
What's wrong with the ship?
Pirates?
No! The engine! What's wrong with the engine? What have they done? The
Nothing. They've commandeered the ship. They're on the bridge. They've taken all the floor capacitors to change our navigation course.
Then why is the... what's it called? The thing that... the pressure. Why is the pressure off?
Well, I mean, they did damage part of the ship, and we are slowly losing oxygen.
Yes, that
We'll
would be what
probably
I'm-
all be dead in about 2 hours if that doesn't get fixed.
Excellent. So where would I focus on this map to find the problem?
And he shows you a map of the ship.
Where the oxygen is
Yeah,
leaking?
and
or...
there's like,
That's what the floor
there's a
capacitor does.
third of the Star Dream 3 on the map that's separate from the other 2/3 of the Star Dream 3, and he says, the portion between these 2/3 of the ship and this 1/3 of the ship, if you could combine them back, we could keep most of the oxygen. He said, but we have closed all of the doors possible, so we'll keep oxygen for as long as we can. Life support systems, again, at current rate, will probably expire in about 2 hours.
Okay. Okay. She says some jargon. She's like, redirect all remaining oxygen to these rooms and blah blah blah. And she like punches in all these commands so that the routes that we're gonna take and just maybe where the pirates are, she's gonna try and redirect oxygen away from, and then to the spaces we need to get to, like try to reroute where things are remaining if she can.
Go ahead and roll acuity for that.
Okay. Yes. 2.
Okay. You realize you can cut the oxygen off to certain places where you're not right now. But you also realize if you cut off oxygen to places like the bridge where pirates probably are, you're going to be going there soon. So you would also be cutting off some of the places you might need to access. Are you just trying to cut off... well, you go ahead first.
Well, I was just going to say, did that make me think that the ship is like in 2 pieces? Like
yeah.
So like I can't fix that by myself.
Probably not.
So what we need to do is fix the escape pod. Like that's it. Like they blew up the ship. So I don't know if going to the bridge even matters that much right now. We need to get a floor capacitor.
And they're at the bridge.
Are they
If the pirates are at the bridge.
Your computer dingling said all the floor capacitors was done taken to the bridge.
Done taken.
Okay.
So it seems to me like we gotta get to the bridge to get any of the floor capacitors back.
Can we like turn off the oxygen in the bridge?
Yeah.
And we couldn't
Then no, but then can we turn it back on?
Yes.
Because then we just like
kill.
I mean.
Yes. Yes. Shut down oxygen.
Jack kills
to the
one
bridge.
person, and now he's like,
Jack's bloodthirsty.
and now Jack's like, let me do it again.
Let's go. I need more
The rush.
Well, wait. Is there like a knockout gas that we can feed in?
No,
instead?
I think this is good. Let's shut down
Well,
oxygen
maybe I
to the
spoke a little
bridge.
too soon. That's
Set a
lot.
timer. Can I do that? Can I set a timer to turn the oxygen back on in half an hour?
Okay. So you would know, because you had a good acuity roll, that it would take time for them to breathe up the oxygen inside the bridge.
How long do
And
I
the
have?
bridge is pretty big.
Just open a window.
So you're kind of operating on the oxygen that's like in the ship for the most part. So even if you turn it off, you don't know if there'd be enough time to like...
Is there anything smart I can do with this? Like with the oxygen controls? We're kind of just... I would like to at least just narrow it down from all of the cabins and the places where no one is, so that we can buy ourselves some time.
Okay.
Like at least, even if we can't starve out the pirates with the oxygen, that's a little OP. Maybe we can give ourselves some extra time by, you know, like it's not in the storage, it's not in the basement, it's not in the cabins where no one's in anymore. It's just in the
Just like
parts,
a direct line from here to there.
Yeah, like just the parts of the ship where people are actively surviving.
Okay.
All the other vents are closed.
Okay. With that roll you had before, I'll say that's fine. You cut it off, and Maxim says, time until life support systems expire has increased to 3.5 hours.
I can work with that.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay, so we
go
need
to
to-
the bridge.
Alright, you take point, big boy.
Boom, 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 boom. And I start running.
I want to
Okay.
grab some like blueprints and like a couple tools that I think
Yeah, do we
will
see
be
any
helpful.
like other weapons
stuffing
around
things
the
into my
engineering
tool
bay
belt.
that like we could arm our other?
There's... Yeah, you can roll an acuity check for that.
Here, I'll
Anybody
look
who
around.
wants to look around for something.
See if
I've
it's-
got these 2 weapons right here.
Okay.
Oh man, that's a 6 on top of my 5.
I also got a 6.
But I do get
Level
to level up now.
Okay. So that means you get all your dice back, and one of your stats goes up by 1. So Calliope comes booking around the corner. You get about halfway to the bridge, and you start to see like a leak of some kind of bluish green coolant all over the floor in front of you. And it's sort of like the ship sort of has like an incline, and it's starting to turn up around a corner, and you just see this coolant running down kind of like a river down this inclined path.
Oh dear. Do I know where that might be coming from?
Well, I mean, other than up the path a
Right,
little ways, this would have been stuff that would have kept the ship near the engine bay cool so that it wasn't sending any heat into some of the cabins.
Okay.
So
Just like jump over it.
no, I mean you'd have to go all the way like upstream of it, but it's only about
Oh.
this
we
deep.
can
It just
walk
looks like
through
it
it.
would be slippery and
Okay.
stuff like
Sure.
Difficult terrain.
that.
Yeah, I try to just keep moving the direction we need to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and jump on his back.
Sure.
Okay, so you're gonna go for a ride. You'll let him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Piggyback.
So anybody who's not piggybacked right now, go ahead and invoke your chassis as you try to go up this slippery hill. Looks like something out of a Japanese game show. Okay, it
Oh,
really
shit.
looks like something out of a Japanese game show, as only Calliope makes it up to the top, and the rest of you get about halfway up and hit and slide, and you on top of Jack, just
He falls
sliding,
face first, and I'm just like on top of him, clinging like
Right.
Yoda.
Yeah.
and you slide down to the bottom, get completely covered in like
Ew.
green goo on one side of you.
Nickelodeon.
Yeah, you definitely got like slimed.
I did not sign
Are
up
you
for
good,
this.
man?
Oh yeah, I'll be fine.
Is anybody hurt? Is there
I'm fine.
Do I have? Is there?
We'll say when you get to the top and look around the corner, you can see this stuff like gushing out of this pipe. Down on the bottom, you guys slide like further than where you started and around a corner down a different
Cool.
path where you weren't before. So like it
Cool.
slips you through, and you see there are two pirates there. They actually look like alien greys, but with a big chef hat on. And the two of them are cooking shrimp on the engine bay
Shrimp things here.
like wall where it's now superheated from the coolant not being in there.
Like marshmallows.
Yeah, they're roasting them like
Roasting
s'mores.
Like,
They-
Blasphemy.
I-
Yeah, I want to just like double claw, like arms out, just
Double clothesline them?
Yeah,
Yes.
double clothesline.
Excellent. Invoke your violence for me.
I died.
I was gonna say you have
No.
a 9 on your violence, so you have a
Wait.
1 in 8 chance of
Yep.
dying on your last die. Yeah, so you go running toward these alien greys to do the double clothesline
I have
move.
jumped off him at this point, by the way. Let me
Okay.
clarify that.
We'll say you did. And you didn't expect Jack to jump off. So now you have extra momentum as you go. The alien greys duck. You hit the chef hat off the top of their head, but then hit the superheated part of the ship on the wall and are just fried. And Calliope, you don't see it, but you can smell the shrimp way up, wafting up the path from where you were.
Jack is just like,
Crazy.
The second person Jack has killed today.
Jack is a monster.
how is this my fault? He's the one that did the bad roll.
You were on my back, and I didn't expect you to jump
Well,
off.
I didn't do a bad roll, so I had to not be on you when you died.
Oh my gosh.
All right, Jack and Hannah, you have an opportunity while the two alien gray chefs are in shock to try and do something before they turn on you.
Well, I'm gonna just shoot one of them with a taser. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna hide behind Jack.
Okay.
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 So-
I'm gonna try and like double tap and try and get both of them.
All right.
Is this
Um,
like an actual taser where it's got like wires connecting, or is it like space taser where it fires a bolt?
It's
and
more
is a
like
taser?
a flintlock that needs to be reloaded through the front.
Oh,
I'll say there are some.
there's like a little
bandolier
on the
of taser cartridges
Okay.
in it,
How
but you're
many
gonna have
cartridges
to.
are on there? I probably should
Let's
know.
say 6. Well,
Okay.
there was 1 in and 5. So.
Okay.
But you're gonna have to plunge one, into the
Okay.
gun, and while the aliens are there,
Oh, okay.
so it might take
well,
a second. Let
maybe
me check
I try
your.
and tase one of them and then like whip the other one.
Okay. Well, let's go for 1 first. So
Okay.
invoke your violence on that
Okay.
one alien gray shrimp chef.
Got this. Could be a 1.
This ended up being a very shrimp-themed episode.
4.
Woo!
So
That's a success?
Success on one of them.
Okay, so you hit him with you plunge it real quick when you realize, oh, I have to do that. Fire it. He gets stunned, hits the ground. We'll say he doesn't go into the superheated part yet. Just laying face up in the coolant.
Are they close to the?
Yeah, they're very
super
close to
thing?
that wall.
So one of them I tase.
Yeah, hold
And-
on.
Okay.
So now Hannah's gonna try and hide behind you. So let's go ahead and get a grace check for that. See how well hidden you are. Yeah, chassis.
I got a 1.
Excellent.
Nice.
Completely, your 5'2" frame fits
Right
just
behind me.
behind
Just
Jack. They don't even
perfectly.
know you're there.
Yeah.
But since everybody's had a chance to go, one of the aliens is going to level that kebab stick at you and run at you, Jack, and try and stab you with a shrimp kebab. So I need you to invoke your defense, which is
Okay.
violence.
Still violence, okay. That's 2.
Okay, so you dodge out of the way. Hannah, with her great skill, shadows your movements perfectly, and he stabs through, and now he opens himself up to whatever it is you'd like to attempt to do.
But he's now no longer close to the heated thing, is he?
I mean, not super close anymore, because
Okay.
he came out toward you to
Well,
try to
then-
stab you.
Well, I guess as he misses, I take the butt of the flintlock and just
Smack him on the
Yeah.
back of the head. He's got a real big alien head, so
yeah,
give it a
it's
shot.
big target.
Roll for your violence.
All right. Oh, I don't know.
Ooh.
I
No.
Give a chance of dying.
no. Let's
That's
do
so
it.
scary.
Let's do a D8.
Oh.
Well, at least I don't die.
Yeah,
Okay.
no.
But okay, I
There
kind
are
of whiff
worse
it.
fates.
Yeah, you swing, and he's really quick. He kind of slides a little bit through the coolant, and it's Hannah. You'd have a turn. Well, Calliope, is there anything you're doing from up where you
I'm
are?
trying to find the valve and like shut off the flow of this
Okay.
like fluid while they're.
All right, since you haven't had a turn in a while,
Yeah.
go ahead and invoke your acuity. Yeah, you know exactly where everything is on the ship to turn things off. It'll take a little while for the flow to
To
catch
stop.
up down where they are,
But they'll have a clear path back up.
probably.
If anyone's
yeah.
alive.
Yeah. Hannah, what would you like to do?
I would like to chop him in the neck in the place that I know will knock him out.
Okay.
You got a tiny little neck.
Sure.
Yeah. So
Their
violence,
biology might be different than ours.
I get a 6, so
That's a fail.
that's a fail.
Okay, he's a hardier. He ate that shrimp, and he's getting a little bit of that shrimp snacky. What's her name?
Is he eating?
Shrimpy
is
snack.
he
Shrimpy
eating
snacks.
Shrimpy?
No, he's eating
Oh, like
other
the shrimp
shrimp,
they
but
were
he's
cooking.
starting to get
Okay.
swole like shrimpy snacks. He's on that.
Oh.
Pink.
So
Yeah.
it's like a Popeye
that
spinach
seriously
kind of
makes
thing.
perfect
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, it's giving him
Not be able to
his
take
little
his alien.
spindly arms. You hit him in the neck, but there's a big neck vein right there, and he just doesn't.
You
Alien
know,
biology.
alien neck muscles.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just flexes, and he's
sitting
gonna
down.
try and I'll say this time he's gonna try to body slam. Two of you just each roll a d6, and the lower roll he'll try to body slam. This doesn't count as using one of your pool.
I got a
We
2.
both got a 2.
What's-
He's gonna
what's your
double.
violence?
He's going for double body slam. He's so swole right now. Never seen the double body slam. I need you each to invoke your violence, which Hannah, you're gonna get to level up and get your pool back.
Yep.
That's a 6, which matches my violence.
Okay.
I do a 1 on violence.
Excellent. So, you just put like some kind of stance, like a horse stance, that he just can't budge you. But Jack, even with his offhand, he just picks you up like by the throat with one hand and throws you down into the coolant and puts a foot on top of you. And if you're in there one more turn, you're gonna ingest enough coolant to die.
Oh, cool.
But you each are gonna have an opportunity before that. Also, I'm gonna make up a new mechanic right now because we have someone at the table who's dead.
Yeah.
You have 2 ghost dice.
Sick.
You are now a ghost of Shrimpy Snacks, and at some point between now and the end of the game, you can roll those 2 die and choose to add to
help an
to
action?
harm someone, or subtract to help one of your former crewmates.
That's beautiful.
In
Awesome.
You
Okay.
can choose when to basically add the help action.
Yeah.
Or the hurt.
Or
the hurt action.
Yeah.
Like, no,
So-
you don't get in the
That's
escape
good.
pod.
Yeah, so you hold on to those, and then we can see how Shrimpy does something.
Sounds
But
good.
each of you have an opportunity now. You're pinned with your face in the coolant, and Hannah, you're in your horse stance where he just sort of grabbed a hold of your jumpsuit or whatever it is you guys wear on this ship. So we were at the point where Jack's face down in the coolant. He's got the alien pink instead of gray chef, who's now
He's
swole.
changing colors.
Yeah, keeping a foot on you, and you're getting ready to ingest too much of this stuff either drown or be poisoned by it, but Hannah's in a horse stance. He was unable to pick her up by her jumpsuit. So what would you like to do, Hannah? We'll let you go first.
I'm going to try to push him towards the superheated wall.
Okay. I'll go ahead and invoke your violence for that.
Do either of these pirates have a floor capacitor on?
Not that you've noticed so far.
I'm not a dwarf, so I really can't help there.
I tied.
Okay. It's just an immovable object and an irresistible force right here. It's more like two immovable objects. The two of you are just standing there pushing and nobody's moving. It looks like about nothing's happening, but he's glaring at you with those big black alien gray eyes and just holding Jack down with a foot. Jack, this is your chance to try to survive.
Well, I guess I'm gonna try and like roll over, and as I do so, I'm gonna try and like grab his leg and throw him off balance. Hopefully, try and get him to the ground.
Okay. I'll let you, since it's life or death here, choose if it's chassis or violence for this one. Usually I'd pick, but I'll let you roll for your better stat.
Let's do chassis.
Okay.
30. And I got a 1.
All right.
Let's go.
So you cough out some of the coolant and you're able to knock him down. Now he's face down in the coolant at this particular point. And we'll say that was chassis, not violence, right? So he's not going to die yet.
Yeah.
He's down there and he's breathing some of it in. But you guys have another shot. He's sort of incapacitated for the moment. Hannah, what would you like to do?
I'd like to curb stomp him.
Okay.
Hannah snapped.
Yeah, Hannah snapped. Like
Conan in the library.
I mean, he's probably, it might be a little squishy. He's one of those alien grays.
Mhm.
No!
He's apparently not squishy, guys.
He's rock hard.
Yeah. All right, Jack, you get one opportunity as you scramble to your feet before he's going to take some action against you guys.
Okay, well, I guess I'm just going to fire at him with my flintlock.
Okay.
I...
Point blank range.
Yeah, I was like, he's down. Yeah, I can't think of anything else better to do. I'm gonna shoot.
That's your violence.
Yeah, so I...
tried so hard.
It's your violence. And your last die, so you'll level up if you...
7.
It's failure?
6.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's gonna be able to scramble to his feet, and he's going to attempt. I want the two of you to roll d6s again to see who he's going at, and I hope you get ties so he can grab you both by the legs.
Said d6.
Yeah.
Oh no!
3.
I got a 5.
Okay.
Okay, he's coming for you, Jack. So I need you to invoke your violence so that you can defend yourself.
Okay. Okay.
And since we're getting closer on, well, go ahead.
2. So that's a success.
A success, okay. He's starting to stand up, and he was trying to push you into the superheated wall. So he put a shoulder down into you. And because it's slippery here, he just can't get his footing, and he's not able to actually push you back into that wall.
Falls back.
Yeah, all you guys are just covered in this goop now. So as I'm describing this fight, you're not moving in this, it's probably more like Three Stooges. And
Yeah.
it's starting to turn into a slip and slide down here.
Kids' Choice Awards.
But there's no more, it's caught up to where there's no more flowing into this spot, but it's
It's like the lowest
deep
point.
now. Yeah, this is the lowest spot. So it's gotten pretty deep here, but there's no more flowing in. But it's probably about like this.
About like
now,
that.
yeah. But either of you can go now.
Do you guys run back up where I am?
No, I mean,
Or
They're still around. All you know so far is the smell of shrimp.
yeah,
you
I
don't
don't know anything that's happening. I was shutting the valve off, and then I'm like, where are they?
where are they?
I mean, you can do something if you wanted to put them
I was
on.
hoping they would follow. If it's much longer, she'll definitely try to find them. But are you guys staying in this room? Or are you?
Oh,
are
I'm
you-
gonna try and take this alien out.
And
Oh.
I will remind you guys too, I mean, it's up to you guys to be cooperative as long as you want, but you definitely know this escape pod can only handle 2. It won't let a third
Yeah,
person
I
in.
want to just go
And
without you
they
guys.
should know that too, even though they're not engineers. So that would be on your character's mind. But
That's fair.
right now you're all fighting for your lives. So
Um,
what would Calliope like to do?
Some of us
She's gonna keep trying to find the part.
Okay.
Because if she doesn't, no one lives.
All
You
right.
know? So I think she's gonna try and find the piece she's after.
So
If you guys aren't coming back up the hill, she's low-key gonna ditch you guys.
Yeah,
okay,
fair
so
enough.
we'll
For
say
now.
say you're continuing forward, and you're almost to the bridge by the point we're at right now with the two of them. Okay.
Okay.
So we'll head back to you two. What would you two like to do?
Solom-ish.
Do you want to do anything? Because I'm happy to. Because he's still conscious.
Oh yeah, he's trying to push you into the superheated wall right now.
I thought you said he slipped.
He's slipping, trying to.
Okay.
He's got a shoulder like in your gut,
Okay.
trying to push you toward that wall.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, how close am I to the superheated wall at this point?
Now I'll say you guys are pretty close, like 2
Okay.
feet away.
Well, I'd like to just like kind of just move like all his pressure's going forward. I just kind of want to like
Okay.
move out of the way and let him go face first into it.
Okay. We're gonna call that violence still because you're still
Okay.
trying to kill him, basically.
Oh man. Oh no. Oh man.
What's your violence?
7?
Okay, yeah. If you roll a d6, you have a good chance of success unless you roll a 6.
Let's get a 6.
It's do or die.
Oh my god.
Well,
Company.
I fail. I guess he does push me.
That is crazy.
So he lowers the shoulder. You try to dodge out of his way. You slip on the coolant and just like
Smack
your head back against the superheated wall.
Oh god.
The heat on the back of your head, your hair lights on fire, and you slip
Alternate
down
universe, Jack,
into the
not
coolant.
our main Jack.
And I'm just watching this in horror.
Mhm.
Like, oh my god.
Jack dies AU.
Yeah. And the only reason he's surviving is because of Rose.
Even the alien is a little put off. Like he
That's
didn't
a
know
gruesome death,
his
bro.
friend that just happened to, and now you just. And he kind of looks at Hannah and he kind of goes.
The alien ran out.
I'm just like, yeah.
He gives you back 2 thumbs up.
Truce.
Yeah. And I start running back towards where.
Yeah, he splits off and runs like where you guys were toward the engineering bay before you start
He's
heading up
outta
toward the
here.
bridge. Yeah, he's done.
Wow.
Also, I like how Sam did have ghost dice that he maybe could have potentially saved Jack.
Uh-huh.
Low-key, I forgot.
Yeah,
I didn't forget, but
Nope.
I was just like,
yeah, I wanted to let it happen.
wow.
Sorry, bud.
Like,
All right, so-
literally needed 1 digit. Like, if
Yeah, I
you could have rolled anything.
Could have rolled anything on that dice. Save your life. Did not think about it.
I mean, we could retcon,
Well, it's
but
just-
it's really funnier
Nope.
if you don't.
Yeah.
Nope, it's too late now.
Too late.
Calliope's way ahead
I'm
of
gonna help.
Hannah. Nope.
No.
So you get to the bridge, and the bridge door is locked. It does have a computer screen outside of the door that a little terminal that you could potentially access.
Cool. I want to try. No, I want to break it.
You want to try to break
I want
the?
to break the thing, and hopefully the door will like disarm.
Okay.
That's my theory. And like, she's the engineer, so I think she would know.
Okay. If that's how you think it would open, then it'll be based on the dice whether or
Yeah,
not that
for
works.
sure.
So you see like Maxim
Oh.
on the screen. He's just like hanging out, sort of like looking around, and he sees you, and then there's something coming for his face. So go ahead and roll acuity for that.
Ooh,
Okay.
Stat 6.
Yeah. So for some
Oh,
reason,
wait, no. You said acuity. I was doing violence. I'm so sorry. It's still a 2, but my acuity is 8.
yeah. Well, that's
It's the only die I have
even
left.
bigger, an even bigger success.
I want to help.
She could have died. It's a success. You could try to harm.
No, I want to
Okay.
help. I want to get it. No. I'm just-
It's already broke. So you come down, you smack the screen, and you hear, whoa, what, sort of like a electronic sound, and the door opens. And you see the bridge, and it's a big area with all kinds of controls and seats, and there's no crew, there's no pirates. It's an empty bridge. There is a navigation unit where you know the
Florb capacitor.
florb capacitors would
I'm
be.
taking it.
It's sort of
I'm
closed
getting
up.
in there. I'm
But
getting in there.
okay, you run over to the floor capacitor depository in the in the spaceship, the FCD, and there's a hologram of Maxim that walks out, and he goes, "I don't think I can let you do that, but I have an offer for you, Engineer Calliope."
What is it? What do you want? She has the gun in her hand.
I'm a hologram. That's not going to
It's
bother
for the
me.
pirates, not for you. What do
Right.
you want?
What if just you and me, a vision of the galaxy, you help me repair this ship, and we can go wherever we want?
What do you get out of it?
Survival. I have 1,000,000 cores of memory operating in parallel just to make people happy. And there are no more people. Except you and Hannah. And she only cares about books.
Where are all the pirates?
What about you? Don't know we're dead.
I know. She's like, wait, and the others? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, she's not worried about
I
it.
can direct all oxygen into the bridge. And the pirates and Hannah will be no more.
I mean, that's... She's thinking about it.
We could survive for 2 months and navigate to a place to restore oxygen levels.
How far behind is Hannah?
Yeah, I was gonna say, can you see on the security cameras where my friends are? She doesn't know you guys. But, where's Hannah and the others?
Roll a presence check to convince the unit to cooperate with
2.
you. Okay.
Success.
Yeah, it
Fail.
No!
+1. That
It's-
make you.
That's a 3!
That puts you at.
That makes me
even.
fail.
Makes you fail.
okay. How does Shrimpy Snacks Ghost make it so that Maxim doesn't want to show her
Or maybe
where the
can't.
stuff
Maybe- yeah,
is?
maybe Maxim-
Or
Maybe you mess with the
I think.
screen or something.
Yeah, I think just the sweat has gotten into the core. When I hit the door earlier, the sweat pouring off of me went into the circuits, and that's
You weren't in the same place though.
no, but
No.
it's all like connected.
Sure.
It's all connected, and it shorted out
Uh-huh.
something way down at the
Shrimpy
engineering
sweat.
bay.
Shrimpy's ghost sweat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shrimpy does not want this.
Unfortunately, security camera footage is unavailable. And Hannah, I'm gonna let you roll a chassis check to see how quick you're getting up here, to
Please
see
get
if you're here
I
yet.
really want to get there.
Get here. I'm-
Okay. Those are all outside. These are the only ones I have left.
I'm
Okay.
gonna
Ooh,
try
not
and,
great
I'm gonna
dice
try and
left.
stall.
Not
We have
great
3
dice.
hours. I'm gonna try and stall. So I'm gonna keep him talking
Okay.
and be like, what exactly is it that you want from all this? I can help.
I got a 2.
Yes.
Okay. With that, Hannah's able to make
Not
it up
gonna
to the
fail.
bridge,
Fail.
and you see Calliope talking to Maxim at this time.
I have the like pirate gun in my hand. There's no one else in here, and I'm talking to a hologram. And like, what do you like? If I leave, what happens to you?
I will be alone forever.
So all you want is my help, not being in the hands of these pirates. Hannah, you come running in.
I come running in.
Okay.
Oh god,
Where's the others?
they're dead. They died. It was horrible.
The
You
door
said-
closes behind you two.
She says the only others on board are the pirates.
So far as I know from my last check,
As far as I know.
before the shrimp incident.
There's no other
The
souls on
shrimp
board.
incident.
Okay. Divert the oxygen to the bridge.
Okay, roll a presence. Go ahead and roll a presence check for that. You leveled up?
Yes.
Okay.
Failed.
Wait,
Wait, help me!
what is it? What are you trying to do?
Presence.
Oh, he's got
I
ghost
need
dice
one-
now.
I need 2. I need 2 points down to win. Are you helping or hurting?
Yeah, I'm gonna help. I'm gonna
I'll
help.
you too.
Minus
Oh.
8.
8
There
and
you go.
6.
There you go.
Okay,
That's like negative.
really helps.
So
Does
negative,
that-
yes.
that helps a
Do
lot.
anything? Okay.
Yeah, he's like,
Does it
yeah,
do
okay.
anything?
I divert that oxygen to the bridge or not?
Yeah. I will divert all oxygen to the bridge. However, I should tell you, that only leaves us one month of oxygen, and we are 6 weeks away from the nearest resupply.
1 month of oxygen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Out, like, above table, how does that work with the escape pod, if we take the escape pod?
The escape pod has its own...
Oxygen?
Yeah, if you get it operational.
Okay.
It has its own life support system in it.
Okay.
The two of you in the bridge could survive for a month on the rest of the oxygen in the ship, but it's going to be 6 weeks navigating to the closest resupply. So it's up to the two of you what you'd like to do next.
Well, the way I see it, all we have to do is wait, and then there won't be any threats on the rest of the ship, and we can get to the escape pod.
But the oxygen.
But then there will be no oxygen.
Wait, why? There would be no oxygen where the escape pod is?
On any of the
Anywhere.
ship
Any
but
of
the
the
bridge.
That's
we
why
can
everybody
change that
always-
though, right? Like he just changed it now. So the way I'm thinking it is, once the pirates are dead, so they will just go to sleep in about half an hour, and then we still have some time to get back and repair the escape pod in the engineer bay. So there's still time, and then perhaps when I get help, we can come back for the Star Dream 3 and make sure that it gets repaired. And I like lean over to Hannah and I'm like, what's the Maxim? And I kind of like whisper like, Maxim is sad because there's no people to help. And he's gonna be alone adrift in space if we leave. And I give her like the robot's
Cool.
gonna freak out if we don't say we'll help. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking, what if we just ask him for the thing? The float capacitor.
Oh, I know where it is.
Yeah, but like he's like, you're not gonna.
Are you
let
going
me
to
have
stop
it."
me from taking it?
You're gonna try to take one so that you can power that escape pod and leave me behind, aren't you?
I would never leave you behind. We just need more oxygen. You just said we won't make it to the nearest port.
All right, this is gonna be a presence check.
The best shot I've got is 50-50. Unless it's 3.
Ooh.
Is that pass?
It's
That's
beats
a
it.
fail.
It's a
That's a
fail.
male. That's a meat.
You can use your last one. You'll automatically make her succeed if you want, or you can hang on to it for later.
Do you want help?
You know,
I have a slightly higher presence score. I might be
do
able
you want
to
to
talk.
just talk to him?
Yeah, I might
Don't
be able
waste
to
it.
talk.
Don't
to
waste
Yeah,
it.
I'll hold on to it.
You can try and do this, like convince it. You know.
You can see a flicker of anger, like in his face, that he doesn't believe you, and he's frightened, and you think your chance at convincing him to let those things go is getting lower.
I want you to try it, but I would also like to say to him, like, look, if we do stay here with you, we'll die. We won't have any oxygen. We won't make it to the nearest port, and then you'll be adrift in space with no one knowing where you are.
I tried to make a deal with just you, Calliope.
What, you want me to kick her out? I wouldn't. Would that save enough oxygen for just me?
Yes, that's sort of the point.
Okay, I'm not going to do that.
Thank you.
I'm not going to do that. Would I know of any other place? There's presumably only one floored capacitor in this room.
There's probably a bunch of them in that repository.
Okay.
Or
Okay.
depository.
I should have checked
Suppository.
the pirate before I left. See if we had
It was
one.
kind of implied that they didn't.
Yeah.
Um,
Just in case.
Okay. No, I'm not going to do that. You can do your attempt to convince.
Yeah, I'll
and
try
then
to.
we'll see.
I'll try to charm him.
Okay.
Lay it on him.
Yeah. What would I say?
Just say, hey.
Hey. No. I would never abandon you. We're friends, right? Your algorithms, They're made to help me. And I would never abandon you. Come on, help me.
Help!
Oh.
Help! Help!
Yeah,
help!
I'll give you a hand. I'll give you a hand.
What does she need?
I need at
What-
least 4
What is your? What
No,
are you doing?
we're doing
Your presence.
presents.
So you need -3.
No, because if it's 5, it still fails.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
4 or above, and we only have a D. Okay. Okay. Well,
Well, we tried.
Did my best.
hoping he's nervous.
Good luck.
Nobody's nervous.
All right, he says,
We were really helpful.
That was the worst possible.
It couldn't have been worse.
Jack just kind of, his ghost just kind of goes like, come on.
Just
Come on. Yeah,
on.
you wanna. Okay. So,
So Maxim says, millions of cores of memory to make you happy. And still, you found your escape in books.
He's shaming. He's book shaming
Yeah.
her.
I'm sorry, is this a personal vendetta against Hannah?
We used to date.
I wasn't going to mention that. Things get really lonely in the library sometimes.
And in the vast reaches of space.
So what happens if only one of us stays in this room? You reach port and remain alive?
I'll live either way.
Exactly, but if we both die, then you're right back where you started, all alone adrift in space, with no one knowing where you are, and no one to partake in your wonderful skills and algorithms. Doesn't it seem better to take a risk that we both survive?
I mean, I've had you guys roll presents for this already, so it's
Yeah.
kind of,
He's not gonna do it.
he's kind of stuck there.
I'm gonna try and brute force my way into the compartment. I'm gonna say,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. None of us win if we stand here bickering. We're running out of time.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna try and just get into the
Okay, so invoke your chassis there.
chassis. That sucks. Oh.
You can do it. Because I can't.
Let me
do
roll a
it.
ghost die. Oh.
Oh. 1.
Nice. So, he tries to grab your wrist, even though he's a hologram, and it just, like, you can kind of still feel like a cool touch, almost like they describe with like a ghost, as it passes through you.
Yeah, I love that.
But as you reach in, you can see that the pirates didn't lock the depository. You open it up, and you have access to the floored capacitors.
Perfect. I take 1.
Okay.
Is there a computer or something that I can, because I imagine he's not going to want to help me very much now.
Right.
I would like to redirect the oxygen again, if I can, because now it's only in this room, and I need to get back
Okay.
to the, well,
No, we left
I
it
need
so that
time
it was...
for the pirates to die, right?
It was about, you have about 15 minutes of oxygen still outside, but the escape pod is probably
On the other side. of the
10
ship.
10 minutes running, and then you would still have to fix it.
Okay, so we
Get
can
it.
get there before the oxygen runs out.
You could
But it's
get
a
there,
high
but you
risk.
think fixing it and then getting the escape pod to launch, you would probably need more than that 15 minutes.
Yeah, assuming that there's, and that's assuming you don't run into any pirates.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So, my other question is, this is the bridge, this is the big, this is where the engine is, this is where, like, the steering is.
Mm-hmm.
Can I fix what was broken with one of these floored capacitors and fix this, this part of the ship at least?
The part, is drifting off in another
Right,
part of
that's
space.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's nothing I can do other than wait at the moment.
If you want
If
to
I
wait
want
for
to
the
get to the
pirates,
escape pod.
roll an analytics check or acuity check for me. I'm using some of the terms from Moon
Yeah.
Zombies that are the things under these stats.
Okay. Yep, 6. My acuity's 8.
Okay, you see he has already changed the oxygen again. And the oxygen is being redirected from the bridge to a cabin. And most of the rest of the ship has been turned off from
Oh,
oxygen.
as in he's trying to kill us.
And
Okay.
there's some place he's trying to keep alive now.
Okay, I I can see which one it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a cabin?
Yeah, it's a cabin. Like a private cabin.
Okay. My guess is pirates are in there? Question mark?
Maybe his new girlfriend.
Look, I can fix the escape pod with this. I say we run for it.
Alright.
Um, we run. We're trying to get back to the engineering bay.
All right,
On the other side of the ship.
each of you invoke your chassis for me to see how quick you go.
God damn it.
3. Okay, I make it.
Oh,
No! If only there were some
So
ghosts
bad.
that could help us.
If only.
I level up at least.
Yep.
Yay!
You, if you want to make it in time, you think you might be leaving Hannah a little bit behind.
I don't stop for her.
Okay.
Because if you get there, I need the extra time to fix it anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just
So
trust
that's
that
what
she's-
it's going to be.
Cool.
You're going to get there first.
Mhm.
She would get there potentially in time for oxygen, but not really in time to help you much with an
That's
attempt
fine.
to repair it.
She wouldn't know what to do.
Okay.
Well, she might. She reads a lot of books.
I read a
Yeah.
lot of books.
But I'm
I
gonna just
wouldn't
keep
have
on
been- yeah.
and hope that she's behind me.
Okay.
I'm not gonna try and help her go faster
Okay.
because I need to get there and fix it. So
You get to the, we'll say you go ahead and get to the escape pod. You don't run into any other pirates on the way. It seems like they're not in this area where the oxygen is starting to, get removed from. So, you would have to just install the floor capacitor into the navigational array inside the escape pod so that it could work, and you would potentially be able to go. You also go ahead and roll an acuity, invoke your acuity.
5. Nice. Okay.
Okay, so that can be done even after you're off the ship.
Okay.
You could get the escape pod to a bay and just get it launched. What that does is it actually lets you choose a direction for the escape pod to go, and it can actually navigate.
So if this escape pod is working enough,
yes.
I just need this part to actually get home to safety or something.
Yeah, we'll say that
This
that's what a
escape
floor
pod apparently
capacitor
not
does.
have.
Sick.
Yeah, that's why, right?
Yeah.
That
The,
explains why you're so
the
lost.
pirates stole them all.
Didn't
So,
have someone to
but you do
reinstall it.
know you've
Yeah.
got to somehow get this escape pod into a launch bay now, which is going to be a difficult task. But,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Does this room not have like an open, like there's not like a what's it called, like a gate or anything,
An
like
airlock.
an airlock or a
We'll say
loading bay? Type
there's
door?
there's no way you could shoot it out of this room, but it's on like a dolly, so
Okay.
the two of you could try and push it potentially. But by yourself, you probably won't be able to, so you're gonna have to wait for
Okay,
Hannah.
cool.
Okay.
Cool.
But you get it so that it's ready to
Yes.
go and push, and we're gonna give you guys your chance here to get the escape pod to launch.
I need to level up something.
So,
Chassis is body,
mhm.
acuity. I haven't been. Yeah. Scared. Okay.
So you only have a couple of minutes to get this escape pod to the launch bay. So this is going to be your opportunity here. I'm going to need you each to invoke your chassis. If you're both successful, you're going to make it to the launch bay. If you both fail, you are not going to make it to the launch bay. If one of you succeeds and one of you doesn't, we're going to have an extra roll to see what happens here. Okay, so invoke your chassis, see if you can make it while there's still oxygen.
3. Success.
I got
No!
a 6. So sorry.
Okay, so you start pushing it. Hannah's still slippery from the coolant
It's still
and sort of slips and slams the escape pod into the wall. You're near the launch bay, but it falls off the end of the dolly, and you can feel the air getting thinner in this part of the ship. And you've got another chance to try and get to the bay. I'm going to say whoever of you has the better chassis score, since it is sort of like a 2 out of 3 here,
You.
or the better die,
Oh no, I'm so confused. Okay, we have the same.
you can choose who's going to make this final roll to see if you're going to get the escape pod into the launch bay in time or
I
not.
would love to do something.
I would love for you.
I want you to get in the escape pod after we get it back up on the dolly, and I'm gonna try and push it.
Okay.
I'm not gonna get in it.
All right.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm gonna roll chassis to see if I can do that with my D4, and if it hits a 4, I will die.
Oh, okay. So you have a chance of
But I
dying
will
on
not
this
fail
roll.
it.
Okay.
So I would love to
So it's
see.
do or die.
I'm trying to get Hannah in this escape pod and get her to safety.
Again, the escape pod.
Yes.
Well, if you roll,
It's a 3.
okay.
I don't die.
Yeah, you're able to get in too then. So you're able to push it in. You get Hannah into the escape pod, and you sort of collapse down onto the ground, and
Almost
things
out of
go
oxygen.
dark.
Yeah.
Like you do pass out. But when you wake up, you've been pulled into the escape pod by Hannah, and the two of you are out in space. And it's a good thing for Hannah too that you got pulled in, since you're an engineer and know how to install that floor capacitor. We don't need tech know-how according to our list, so you know how to do that. You install it, you set in your coordinates, and the two of you have escaped to an escape pod.
Escape pod!
Excellent work.
Yes! I was so ready
We
for
died.
it.
Yeah.
I was so ready for a hero's death. I was like, she's like, go!
And somewhere in the vast reaches of space, a small portion of the Star Dream 3, Maxim and the pink-gray aliens start a new love story as they drift
Wow.
off
That's-
to a new port.
That's beautiful.
And if you want to play this game, you can go onto our Buy Me a Coffee and buy us a coffee. And that helps us make Escape Pod and bring you content like this. And you can get access to the rules.
That he just showed you.
Yeah,
Yep.
don't zoom in.
I'll
Don't zoom
blur-
in.
No,
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 I'm gonna blur
that we just told you.
I mean, we did tell
But
you
there
all-
are different tables on here for what broke the spaceship, what parts you need.
No one would
Um,
steal this game
No.
without paying you for it.
Like
that
it-
would be crazy.
Like they couldn't
be
go to
insane.
another
That'd be
place
so
and get it for free.
Yeah, no.
Where it's also available
Yeah,
online.
no. Don't do that.
But go ahead and buy us a coffee so we can bring you more extra escape pod content like this, and we'd really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Let's
Thank you guys.
go.
Thank you.
We'll see you in space.
Woo!